Skip, you've been in car sales for like a zillion years.
Roughly.
Roughly a zillion?
Yeah, I don't want to put a label on it, but it's been a minute.
Why did you get into car sales?
Because I didn't like working.
Well, you don't work.
I do work, but when you like what you do, it doesn't feel like working.
We're going to talk about some stereotypes that I don't know if there's any out there about a car salesman.
No, everybody loves car salesmen.
They always try to scam you. Is that accurate? They always try.
No.
And when they say they mean everybody.
They do. That's kind of generalized, but I've been trying to break that for almost 30 years.
How'd that come about? Why do people think that?
Well, I mean, when they're portrayed in movies or on television, it's always the slicked back, really bad suit, fast talking, like in Vacation when they pick up the family truckster, you think you hate it now, wait till you drive it. There are people that have made my job a lot harder than it really honestly needs to be.
But why are you different than everybody else?
Oh boy.
What's your approach?
My approach is I'm a consumer as well. Yeah. And I've bought a lot of cars in the 30 years I've been doing this, but I kind of envision myself across the desk or across the table from the customer and, how would I want to be treated or how would I want the experience to be? I try to make it light. You've known me for a long time. I like to make some jokes.
Yes. I bought several vehicles off of you.
You have. Thank you.
Yes. And you scammed me out of every one of them.
Well, I mean, that's you, but by and large, I don't do that to most people.
It's also, is it a misconception to say you make a huge commission off every sale?
Yes. I wish that was the case. Trust me. My wife wishes that was the case. My kids wish that was the case. The student loan companies, they're actually probably good that I don't make as much as people think. But yeah, it's a big misconception. I mean, of course, I'm not a charity worker. I don't do this for free. But, I've made a career out of helping people, but by selling not just one vehicle to them, but our relationship, several, I sold your wife a vehicle. Yep. I've sold your sister a vehicle, repeat and referral business is really what has kind of led to me being, I guess it's weird to say, but successful.
Right. But would you call yourself, you're a Ford guy. You like your Fords, but do you know everything about every car that's ever existed? That's your job.
Not everything, but I honestly, and I was in management for probably 20 plus years of my career. It's beneficial to know a lot about these vehicles, and I'm a car nut. So, it's been a passion and a hobby of mine since I was a kid. And now this is what I've gotten to do my whole adult life, and I'm passionate about it. Like, I genuinely love the new technology, where cars are driving themselves, not completely, but they're helping keep you safe. They're really making life easier rather than just getting from point A to point B. And just what I've seen in the technology and the advancement in the 30 years I've been doing this, it's unbelievable. From when air conditioning was not standard equipment,
right,
to now subscription cruise control that I could get on Interstate 80 and drive from New York City to California without touching the steering wheel or the gas or the brake. It's crazy.
Can you go on to a car lot, talk to a salesperson, and not buy one?
Oh, sure.
Is it true that they push you to the most expensive vehicle? And what's the strategy behind that?
It's really not. There are salespeople and dealerships where I say the salespeople have commission breath. They're coming at you really strong because they're trying to push their agenda. They have either some behind the scenes incentives that well, I get more if I sell you that car
That's
today.
in any sales industry.
It is, but I don't get paid based on the amount of the price of the vehicle. And ironically, the most expensive vehicle I've ever sold was one of the least profitable vehicles that I've ever sold. So it's not necessarily how much a vehicle costs as to what the dealer's agenda is. What it should be about, and what I try to make it about, is what is going to make things better for you. That you're not going to leave here saying, oh my God, what just happened? What did I do? I can't afford this. There's a movie about my industry, and I won't go into detail, but there's a guy who got talked into making a really, really poor decision, and he's in the shower, like naked and crying, and my wife's going to kill me. I can't believe I did this. What happened? Like, that's just not how it should be. I don't care if you buy a car today, tomorrow, next week, next month. I always need to sell them. The beautiful thing is every month our clock resets and we have to, find more business. So I'd rather you take the time to feel comfortable, be happy, and come back and buy 3 or 4, so in your case, I can take all your money.
I hear it all the time on radio. Now's the time to buy. I hear this all the time. Now is the time to buy. Right now. So I want to talk about this. Is there a good time to buy a vehicle?
Yeah, when the dealership's open. Yeah. from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Most days.
That's a good time to buy.
Yeah, I mean, there are events. There always is. President's Day is always a big one in the industry. 4th of July, and then you hear starting in, my goodness, October now, Model N clearance. There are certain manufacturers, and no offense to any of them out there, but are releasing, next year's model in February of the current year. Like, what? I still got one of last year's models delivered to me last week from the manufacturer, and I guarantee in 2 months someone's going to be the all new 26. And so the great time is when you feel comfortable, when you feel like you're getting something that makes sense to you, both the price and what you're leaving with. If you feel like you're winning or you're making your life or your situation better, it's the right time to do it.
What always confuses me after the 28 vehicles that I bought from you is the trade-in value.
Yes.
Does your industry lie about the trade-in value?
Have there been people that have done things like that? Of course. But in today's world, today's market, you can, as a consumer, have more information than I can as a dealer on your phone in 30 seconds. We use all the resources that are available to consumers. We have some industry specific stuff, auction values, but by and large, the consumer really pushes what the market is, not the dealer. If a lot of people are buying a certain vehicle, it's gonna affect the value, and that's not a dealer. It's a consumer. So yeah, I mean, educate yourself so you don't get in that situation where you feel like there's no way that it's only worth that. Or what I get a lot of times is, wow, I can't believe you're giving me that much for my car. This thing's beat, so it's perspective. Okay. It's really how you feel. And a lot of that's how you're treated, from the moment you walk in the door till the moment you walk out the door, whether with a new car or the mindset, I'm never going back to that place again. We really, or I say we, I really try to make it an experience that, wow, this didn't suck. It feels good when I hear from people, this is one of the best experiences I ever had buying a car. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been doing this for a long time. There are people out there that may even see this video and say, I remember I bought something from that guy. And, unfortunately, they're mechanical items and we're human beings and not everybody loves everybody. I wish they did, but that's not reality.
Is it a sales tactic to say when someone comes in and says, I'm looking for a car or I'm looking for a truck? Usually when you get into a conversation with a salesperson at a dealership, the next question is, well, what's your monthly budget? This seems to be a tactic over the years. Well, we don't talk about the price of the car. We know that truck is $92,000, but where can we get you as a monthly payment? That's where we need to live. That's a sales tactic. It has to be.
It's not really a sales tactic as much as, that's what it all is going to boil down to. I wish myself and any customer I'm ever around were in a scenario where, they just write a check for whatever they want whenever they want it. But that's not the world that we live in. So, it really does come down to not just affordability, but, there are a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can lease a vehicle, which I think is a fantastic option for certain people. And financing vehicles, that's what 90% of my customers, that's how they get a car. So that's a question that's important. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand, even with all the research out there, that, wow, I really like that $60,000 truck, and I'm really hoping to keep a payment around $300 a month. Well, unfortunately, I can't finance them for 35 years, so that doesn't necessarily work out. But, we have options, different programs we ask that question not as a tactic, but so I'm not trying to show you all the benefits of a vehicle that just isn't going to be realistic to what, could be affordable to you.
Do you see that a lot? People are unrealistic about their buying?
I wouldn't label it as unrealistic, but maybe just if you haven't been in the market for a while, and I laugh because as long as I've been doing this, I remember the day that I saw the first pickup truck with an MSRP or window sticker price over $30,000. And I thought to myself, who on earth can afford to buy a $30,000 pickup? Now, that was 25 years ago. It was a different world. But, now the average new car price is $45,000. So if you haven't bought a vehicle for a long time, stop doing that. Buy one today or tomorrow or next week. But, you might be in for a bit of a culture shock that a $10,000 vehicle isn't what it used to be.
You have on your sign up here, it says, worth the trip to buy from Skip. Is it?
It is. It is. And when I say that, you
got to get in your car. You got to drive all, to see you.
Well,
is it worth it?
If you're hearing this, we're not that far away. I'm worth the 15, 20-minute drive to just be treated decent, and listen to some corny dad jokes.
Every day in your industry is something different.
It is.
Something happens. Can you share a story? One off the top of your head. What happened yesterday?
Well, yesterday was actually a really good day.
Yeah.
I met two customers, sold two people two wonderful cars, and they were very thankful. But, oh my goodness, from a vehicle crashing through the showroom during the day.
Wait. This wasn't recently.
No, this was probably 7 or 8 years ago. And I just happened to glance out of my office and look up the street, and I'm like, wow. that car's going really, uh-oh. Oh, no. And then it bounced off a couple vehicles going through an intersection, did a donut, and then in reverse came through the showroom and stopped with the person passed out, the accelerator to the floor and tires spinning, like trying to come through the showroom even further. And that was insane. Totally insane.
Was that a Monday?
Yeah. I did sell him a car, though. Because, the one they had was literally smashed.
Hey, let's get you home. How much can you afford a month?
Hey, after the doctors evaluate you, let's talk some numbers here.
I could get this car off your hands for $10,500.
Yes, I do not, by the way, I don't carry business cards around and just look for wrecks on the side of the road and say, hey, looks like you're okay and you need a vehicle. So, come see Skip.
Do you get to drive brand new cars all the time?
Not brand new. I wish I was a Ferrari dealer and I did get to do that, but I'm very fortunate, but a lot of people in sales aren't. I have a company vehicle, but I'm passionate about vehicles and I like driving older stuff too. Probably one of my most favorite vehicles I ever owned was a 1995 Ford F-150 pickup that I bought from a little old man that bought it new, a farmer. And I kept the thing for like 15 years and I loved it and I miss it to this day. But, I'm a Ford guy. I have one of the new Broncos and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Hidden fees. Are there hidden fees when you buy a vehicle?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. We are monitored by Department of Revenue, Department of Banking, by PennDOT, by everyone. And we have to fully disclose literally everything. Actually, if I walk away and go to the bathroom, I have to, disclose that I'm getting up to go to the restroom before. No, I don't. But no, I mean, there are no hidden fees. Are there some people in the industry that have done some unscrupulous things? Well, of course. But, all of your paperwork has everything on there. And another misconception is extended warranties. Oh, don't buy an extended warranty. That's a ripoff. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How dare we try to protect you from having an unfortunate moment during the ownership of your vehicle? Like, oh no, my transmission just went out and my payment's due next week. Now what do I do? That's how we got you. We made sure that you were protected in case something happened. But yeah, I mean,
you slime dog.
I buy a warranty on every new and used vehicle that I buy, and I've been in this industry for 30 years. I do it because they're mechanical and they break, and I love Ford. There's also Chevys that I love. I've had BMWs. There's honestly, other than high-end brands, there's not a lot of vehicles that I haven't had at one point or another. It's a bit of an addiction for me, I guess. But they all break.
Yeah,
they all do.
Yeah,
they all do.
Yeah.
I've seen new cars with 15 miles that the engine went, and I've seen vehicles with 450,000 miles on that drove fantastic. So, that's not how we get you.
What's a really good vehicle to buy right now, today?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Any that I have for sale. There really aren't a lot of bad vehicles out there. For sale, new or late model. What my recommendation is, even if you're buying a vehicle on Marketplace, have it checked out. I have customers ask all the time, can I have this vehicle checked out by my mechanic? Yeah. And they kind of look like they're surprised that I'm saying that. Like, oh, You mean I can take it to my mechanic and have it looked at? Yeah, you can. Because I don't want you to come back tomorrow and hate me, or get on your phone and on every media outlet available say, well, that doggone Skip, that's how he got me. I want you to be as comfortable as you can dealing with me. I mean, I know you've dealt with me for a long time, and I can make it uncomfortable for you, but
yeah, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to really meet anybody else. I think that's what it is. Is there a secret in the industry that nobody knows about that you'd like to share?
A secret in the industry that there's not a lot of secrets that people
think there are.
They think that there's a ton of secrets and such like insane misconceptions. I
like the days of putting cocaine in your tires is over with.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I will say that I have seen vehicles that were former rental cars that came into the dealership and
With a little Colombian Bam Bam in there.
Things were found in them, and some stuff that has been left behind in trade-ins. We're not even going to have those conversations, but yeah, I wouldn't say there's a lot of secrets other than there's some good people out there that do this for a living. You know, that's probably the best kept secret, that we're not all bad. You know, I struggle with that. I've struggled with that for 30 years when people come in and they've gotten screwed over. They've gotten taken advantage of, you know, and they take it out on me for the first 20 minutes, you know, half an hour. Until they realize, oh, well, this guy, he's weird, but he's not that bad. He's definitely weird, but he's not that bad.
Did you ever get in a fist fight in a dealership?
No, I can't.
Have you ever seen fights in the parking lot?
I have. I've seen some testosterone-fueled machismo salespeople go at each other because that's my customer. No, that's my customer, and that's insane. And that's many, many, many years ago. You know, I think we've evolved as people.
What's with your industry and the inflatables?
This guy,
the wavy arm guys. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Does it work?
It doesn't.
What kind of relationship do you have with these companies, with the inflatable people? Because I see them all the time.
Well, I think they're tied in with the balloon
and the streamer
people.
Company.
Yeah, they all sort of got together and they're like, you know, I bet we could get these guys to dump a ridiculous amount of money on all this shiny stuff. But yeah, I mean, you want to know about secrets?
Yeah.
I hate that stuff. I really do, because that just screams to me the guy that I never wanted to be. You know, the guy with the well, you know, I guess I do have a little product in my hair, but you know, not the bad suit. So, and I'm not that fast of a talker. Sometimes I talk slow when I need to. But yeah, the secrets are that stuff doesn't work. This guy, you know, he's kind of fun, but I write on the windshields sometimes, you know, real fancy lettering. I don't know why. You know, I don't think somebody's going to go by and lock up the brakes and slide in sideways because I made a really nice $sign on the windshield, but you know, most times we're just trying to say, hey, look over here. We have stuff here for you, you know. And screaming radio and television ads, not a huge fan of that as well. You know, get on down here today because we have a quota from our manufacturer that we have to sell 3,000 vehicles by the end of February. You don't.
We got $20 million of inventory, and Uncle Sam isn't going to take it.
And okay, maybe here's one secret. There have been ads in the past that will say, after a record month. Well, it wasn't always a good record. It could have been, we're doing this sale because we just had the worst month we've ever had, and now we have to move a lot more vehicles because we didn't do anything last month.
Thanks for your time today. I appreciate the time today, Skip. It's worth the trip to buy from Skip.
Worth the trip to buy from Skip. You should know.
It rhymes.
It does. It took me at least 10 minutes to come up with that. So thank you.
There you go.